A shocking New York Knicks trade could be incoming as a report from insider James Edwards has revealed the New York Knicks could be looking to trade Mitchell Robinson, and someone who could be at the forefront of these talks with Precious Achiuwa playing so well as a 4-5 is Jonas Valanciunas, who's going to get moved off the Wizards, who the New York Knicks have wanted since free agency, and we're going to break all this down. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Knicks Digest. It's Chris here, and we're going to jump right into things as always. If you guys like the content, make sure to subscribe. If you're part of the 67% of people watching who are not subscribed to the channel and you want daily New York Knicks news, rumor reports, injury updates, TikToks, YouTube shorts, a bunch of fun live streams, make sure to subscribe to the channel. It's a really fun time here. I don't want you to miss out if you're a Knicks fan. However, let's jump into this. Mitchell Robinson is officially on the trade block for the New York Knicks as the Knicks will look to move him before the deadline. This is not a guarantee that Mitchell Robinson is going to get traded, and I will show my hand right now. I don't think Mitchell Robinson is going to get traded right now. I don't think the New York Knicks are going to move Mitchell Robinson when his value is lower than it usually is, but we will get into that in a little bit. I'm not going to hold you guys waiting at all. Let's get into this report from James Edwards, who revealed this today, saying league sources have told The Athletic that the Knicks are under the impression that the Knicks are open to moving the often injured Mitchell Robinson, who will make $14.3 million this season and $12.9 million next season. The big man, who has been a defensive anchor for the Knicks for several seasons, 7 to be exact, underwent foot surgery in May and has yet to play in a game this season. Knicks head coach Tom Thibodeau said this week that Robinson is not practicing with the team and just began running and jumping. Now, obviously, this is not the brightest sign for the New York Knicks that Mitchell Robinson has not been returning, but I did do a video on that literally just before this one, but it's coming out after this video, so there's a bigger deep dive on Robinson's injury, but we'll get into that in the other video I made. Now, Ian Begley also revealed earlier this month that several teams have been inquiring about Robinson's health. So that tells you that teams would have interest in trading for Robinson if they knew he was going to be healthy. When healthy, Robinson is one of the best offensive rebounders in the NBA. The 26-year-old is under contract through next season, so it makes sense that he would have strong trade value if he's healthy. But the 3 teams that he's talked to recently didn't have clarity on Robinson's health. That's the thing. The Knicks are not being too clear on Mitchell Robinson's health, and I did do a full video on this, so I don't want to talk about this too much because you guys could watch that one. It's way better for an in-depth dive on Mitchell Robinson's injuries. But to talk about this now, it's not surprising the Knicks are interested in moving Mitch. They need to get guys who are healthy so they can make this NBA Finals push. The NBA is fairly open this season. I mean, I don't think the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to go to the NBA Finals. I still don't trust the team that has 2 guys in the front court who can't shoot and 2 guys in the back court who aren't great defenders, though Darius Garland has picked it up. The Boston Celtics are still good, but they're not unbeatably good. And then the Oklahoma City Thunder are very good in the West, and it's theirs to lose. Outside of the Denver Nuggets as well, who are great. But outside of those teams, man, it's really just those 5 teams. I didn't say the Knicks there, but it's the Knicks and those 4 teams that I mentioned are the 5 teams in my mind that have a shot at winning the NBA Finals. Now, given I am a LeBron fan, so I'm a little biased, and part of me thinks the Lakers can figure out a way to put themselves in that position if they make the right trades. But that just feels increasingly unlikely because the Lakers are very, very stupid. So you can't really do much about that. But look, the New York Knicks are in an interesting position now. They want to trade Mitchell Robinson, or they've at least been interested and open to trading Mitchell Robinson, because what it leads to is them having a team that's healthier, having more players they could play, expanding that rotation, which Thibodeau has started to do, which is a huge sign. I'm also going to do a full video on that, so we will discuss that more, but Tom Thibodeau expanding the rotation is helpful, and getting Mitchell Robinson back would be great because he'd be another guy that Tibbs can play, though the Knicks, fearing that they're not sure Mitchell Robinson's coming back, they might hold off, and that's understandable. I don't think they should trade Mitch right now, man. I really don't. I don't think it's a great idea right now. It doesn't seem like the best move the New York Knicks could make at the moment. Mitchell Robinson's a career 8-8 guy with the Knicks who has a 20 PER when he plays on average per season. The free throw percentage on his career is bad, especially because it's on a downward trend, but his field goal percentage is very good. He's the best offensive rebounder in basketball when he's healthy. He scores at the rim nicely. He kicks the ball out. He's a great defender, both on the ball and in the low block. Mitchell Robinson's a unique talent, and I don't want to see the Knicks lose him, not when his value's at its lowest. That doesn't make sense to me that they would trade him when he's injured and when teams would value him less. If Mitch can come back and play really well, then it would make some sense to trade him in the offseason, considering you might not be able to re-sign Mitchell Robinson in a general sense. So you get to that, and you kind of discuss the situation and think, hey, do we want to keep Mitchell Robinson around? Do we want to move him because we could likely lose him in free agency with other guys that we have to sign? I think the Knicks would opt to move him in the offseason, and I still think that's when the Knicks are going to move Mitchell Robinson. I just don't think it's going to be right now. That doesn't make a ton of sense to me to trade him at the moment when his value is just as lower than usual. Now, Ian Begley also discussed this recently just with the trades and said, in regards to Robinson, and said the Knicks have less than 2 weeks to decide if Robinson is their guy at backup center, and if they don't feel confident in his health, they'll probably have to trade for another center. If they decide to trade for a center, Washington Wizards veteran Jonas Valanciunas will be among centers on the Knicks' radar. Now, I'm a little bit of mixed feelings on Valančiūnas because he's not a good defender, but on the season, Val is putting up 12 points per game and 8 rebounds off the bench, also getting 2 assists, getting half a block and half a steal per game, and the defensive box plus minus being negative 0.5 shows that he's not a great defender, but he is a solid center. He's a great rebounder. He gives the Knicks a lot. He can mirror Karl-Anthony Towns in a few ways. And also, we have seen teams win here and there without rim protection, though it's a lot easier to win with it. And here's the big thing, and I talked about this in the video that's coming out soon as well, but if you make this trade, if you trade Mitchell Robinson in a second-round pick for Jonas Valanciunas, the Knicks free up $4 million in cap space. Oh, $4.5 million, really, so they'll have money to sign 2 free agents and get a 15-man roster if they want to. That would make a lot of sense for the New York Knicks. Or really just one free agent. Give that veteran minimum to someone, maybe a big man for rim protection. Maybe you move some stuff around. You figure some other stuff out. Maybe you trade Jericho Sims for cap space as well. I still think they should trade Jericho Sims for Javonte Green. We'll talk about that as the deadline approaches. But with Mitchell Robinson specifically, if you trade him for Valanciunas, the Knicks do free up money and get farther away from that second apron, meaning they have more flexibility in season to acquire some guys. They could wait till March for that prorated salary to go down for veteran minimums, so they could just sign a veteran minimum anyway, like a Marcus Morris or a TJ Warren. Or even Chuma Okeke they could do, but I think they could sign him now because Chuma's only got 6 years of experience, so they can't sign him right now because they don't have the money, but if they were to move Mitchell Robinson or just Jericho Sims is $2 million, they would have enough to sign Okeke. I'd rather Javonte Green, but that's beside the point. Again, different video, different time, different place, or well, same place, my bedroom where I record YouTube videos, but same thing. Look, I don't love this trade at all because I think it weakens the Knicks defense a lot. I understand why it makes some sense, but I'm just very, very much of the mindset that you should have a good rebounder or a good or very good, like Mitchell Robinson, rim protector for your contending team. The Knicks trade Mitch. They don't have that, and that causes a lot of concern. I do think Mitchell Robinson will be back eventually. I don't think he's going to miss the entire season with an injury. And if you really do fear that, you could figure ways around it. First of all, you can get that hardship exception. You could wait for a center who's under $12.9 million, the mid-level exception money, to sign someone then in free agency, a big man who might get bought out, whose contract is under that certain amount, so under the mid-level exception, so the Knicks could bring him in. They could do that. It's absolutely a move that if the Knicks want to make, they can make. So they have a few different options here, but the Knicks are just better with Mitchell Robinson. I mean, since the 2022-23 season, the Knicks have won 60% of their games with Mitch, and without him, they've won 58. I know it's not a big difference, but it's a lot because the Knicks are playing really well this season, and Mitchell Robinson just impacts the team positively. So when Mitch plays, they play better. And the Knicks would be better this season if they had Mitchell Robinson. I do think the Knicks are going to get Mitchell Robinson back, and I don't think they're going to trade him when their value is lower. That doesn't seem like a move Leon Rose would be willing to make, unless there's a trade in mind that he really wants to do, and there's a world where he just really wants Jonas Valanciunas, so he goes out there and acquires him. I'm very interested to seeing what happens. Guys, once any sort of trade happens, whether it involves Mitch or Jonas because he's a Knicks target or anything, we will make a video on this channel, so stay tuned and make sure to subscribe. Like this video, turn on post notifications. Make sure to tune into the live streams. They're a lot of fun. Have a great day, and go Knicks.